The transition for me was exceptionally difficult. Um, I got out of the Marine Corps pretty quick. I got a job. Like on paper, I did everything right. I had a job. I enrolled in college, but I wasn't prepared. I went from being in the Marine Corps on a Friday to starting a job on a Monday. My first day of work, they were at a copy machine. And in the Marine Corps, it's really simple. You have a red button for no and a green button for make copies. This thing looked like it was ready to send something to the moon. You know, I'm standing there and I'm like, how do I do this? And this lady came up to me and she asked me what I was doing. I said, I'm trying to use the copier. You haven't been here long enough. I was like, oh, someone sat at my desk. I was like, what? Um, and from there, it was just not having anything to identify with. The planes hit right at 9/11, 15 days after I got out. So I was feeling this, like, should I go back in? But when you're in, the guys that get out and come back in, you kind of look at them differently. Like you couldn't hack it on the outside, right? So, and that's my own fault. That's
Well,
my own stigma.
I get it. That's maybe a thing.
Yeah.
But it was 15 days after terrorists just flew into the building. So.
Exactly, right? And it was on my own head. And I can do this. I'm going to be great. I got a job. Everything's going to be fine. And really quickly, it wasn't.
Why?
I just not being able to fit in at work. I got a job at a tech company, and they're really far advanced for what my skills were as a Marine.
What did they do? What were you supposed to do there?
I was supposed to be fixing radios and handheld equipment. And
did you know how to do it?
I did know how to do it. I just wasn't the best at it. And I had gone from a spot, and also I had moved back close to my mom.
Okay.
I had joined to get away from problems. And when I got out, I moved right back to where my problems were.
You've been open about a period of homelessness yourself. What does that experience teach you about veterans we see struggling on the streets today?
Well, my experience, after about a little over a year in Vegas, everything falling apart. I moved home. Nobody in my family would take me in. My stepmom, I was a bad influence on my younger brother. I couldn't be there. I still don't understand that logic. So I slept in my car. Best friend's couch. His mom let me stay there. Tools in my back seat, clothes in my trunk. For some reason, I was more embarrassed about having my clothes in my car than my tools.
So you put your clothes in the trunk and your tools in the back seat.
Yeah, because you
didn't care that they might get stolen, just so long as you didn't look homeless.
Yeah,
that's the best.
Eating carne asada, one carne asada burrito a day because it was cheap, but also has a lot of protein in it. You know, right. Enough to get through. Sitting there, knowing from my upbringing that I could take an easy way out and get out of Myers, but I made the choice that this isn't why I joined the Marine Corps. There's something that I got to live up to that. And the path from being in that to being a laborer making $12 an hour for a construction company that didn't always pay their guys. And if they were running short, they're going to pay the top dollar guys. And usually the laborers are going to be the ones that are missing a paycheck because I'm easily replaceable. And therefore I'm having a hard time feeding myself. To going through that circuit of learning just how people take advantage of low-cost labor and how it messes with your brain, right? You're trying to feed, you're trying to eat, you're putting in good work, and then somebody holds your paycheck.
No,
or you get a paycheck and everybody's got to run to the bank because if you're the last guy, it's not going to cash.
Right.
And then you're stuck for the weekend. Learning from that experience and while you're going through it, especially with, has some problems from the Marine Corps, but the mental health part, like how do you stay focused? How do you stay positive? How do you pursue a girl if you can't even take her out? Right? Like, how do you do these things when you're living paycheck to paycheck?
It's dehumanizing.
It is.
It's dehumanizing. You're going out, you're doing the work. Okay. How long ago was this? 20 years?
Yeah, it's about 2004. Now when I'm helping veterans in that space and they're telling me that they've not been treated right or dehumanized, I can relate. I know that because I've been there. I know what it's like. I know what it's like that people look at you or not look at you. Right. So when you're helping veterans, when you're helping anybody and that's low, that's not housed, you got to make sure you treat them with respect.
Always.
Look them in the eye.
Yeah.
Show them that you care. Don't pass them off.
We're out of time. Please subscribe on YouTube, click the thumbs up, and leave a comment. Please subscribe on Apple Podcast and Spotify and leave a rating and a review. And share the We're Out of Time podcast with others you know who will get value out of it. See you next Tuesday.